The cap that's bad. Over.
Very good. Well, don't clean up too much. You'll set a bad example for some of us who barely know that the workbench has a top. Good luck on that, and keep us posted on that. Service monitor, we'd like to try again to do that check on our handheld Chinese radios. Very good, Bud. We'll come back to you later if you have anything else. Thanks for joining us.
K5YT, then clear back to net control.
November 5 Uniform Whiskey Mike. Good evening, Mark. What do you have for us? Over.
Well, not really anything N5UWM. I just wanted to let everybody know that the water tower in Benbrook has been completed, so that's all I have new. And I'd like to say I sent a post to Larry and Randy and told David today. But anyway, the water tower in Benbrook is complete. November 5 Uniform Whiskey Mike, back to net.
Okay, very good. Thank you much. That's a step in the right direction, although from my perspective, we can only use the 2.8 during this social distancing because it's an appropriate 2-meter operation. So, chuckle on that one. Very good, Mark. Thank you for being with us. Kilo Juliet 5, Bravo Alpha. Very good evening. Your comments, over.
Well, thank you, Dave. Good evening to everybody. This is Matt, KJ5BA. First of all, I'd like to say thanks again to Bud for the great presentation on the Smith charts last week. I was scribbling down lots of notes, and he made it a lot clearer than it used to be. I've got a little bit of an announcement. I found out that Tanner Electronics up there in Farmers Branch, everyone has heard that was planning on closing. Their lease is going to expire at the end of June. I received word they're going to shut down permanently at the end of this week. So they are just, from what I hear, they're just blowing out everything that they've got, getting right down to the floorboards. So there's a take a chance and call them and see if they've got anything that you might be able to use. Let me reset here. And I got a question. When it comes time to take the amateur radio exams, I've got a Hewlett-Packard calculator, a 28C 28 Charlie. That it's one of these. It folds. You open it and close it like a wallet. It's a really nice scientific calculator that I was planning on using, but I want to find out ahead of time from someone who knows for sure if it's okay to actually use that. Would anybody be able to answer that? KJ5BA.
Okay, Matt. Very good. Good to have you on this evening, and we will certainly appreciate your comments about Bud's excellent presentation on Smith charts. And sorry to hear about Tanner. I've been doing business with the Tanner family for 35 years, so I'm really going to miss them. And as far as that particular calculator, I'll pause and see if anybody wants to jump in and answer that question. Normally, my understanding is that dumb calculators are acceptable, but I don't know about fancy memory calculators. Somebody want to pick that question up?
AF5YT.
Head, Bud.
That calculator is perfectly okie dokie. Even if you had one of the fancy schmancy graphing programmable calculators, it's acceptable on the condition that you clear the program, so that you're not walking in with program set to pass the test. And that's really the only gotcha. So I think you're perfectly okay with that calculator, and if you're comfortable with it, no problem. AF5YT, back to net control.
Very good, Bud. Thank you very much. I think that'll give a good answer there. Matt, you copy?
I sure did. Thank you very much, Bud. That's what I was hoping somebody would say. I just wanted to cover my backside before I just walked in there getting my hopes up, you know. Thank you so much. KJ5BA.
Very good. Okay. Kilo Foxtrot 5 Delta Echo Yankee. Mike, what do you have for us this evening?
Good evening, all. KF5DUI, Mike here. Doing a few things. One, yesterday was Wind Lake Wednesday, and I've been trying to go in and do traffic just so I can play with my draw system and try to figure out a good workflow for it. And I'm getting better. Things are working better now. I'm doing an upgrade right now on the draw software, and I actually having a problem. So I'm working with Basil, and maybe at some point I did something wrong. It's working, but it won't do the upgrade right. And as a parallel to draws, randomly I found this Raspberry Pi image under call sign W3 Delta Juliet Sierra, and it is a Raspberry Pi image, much like draws, but it has a whole lot more software in it. It's not a complete package like draws is for the board, but it's a complete software package for ham radio operations on a Raspberry Pi. You just have to do all the configuration yourself. So there's somebody out there with a signal link or some other kind of USB sound card they want to use, they could use this other image and do all the controlling and all the digital modes and all that fun stuff using that sound card with, again, your own configuration. And what was the third thing I found? Oh, yeah. So the FTC sent a letter saying that they never restricted the ability to do remote testing. They leave it all in the amateur league to self-regulate that. So basically, it sets up to the clubs to organize a plan for remote administering the tests. And there's been a few already gone through, obviously. And I think the final thing was I found out that, because I don't have a webcam, so I found out I could use my regular DSLR camera through a couple software packages and use that as a webcam. And that's got a much better lens than my little camcorder did. So I actually have better field of view doing these webcasts. And so as a final thing for the webcast, next week is business meeting, and if nobody cares, I can host it and monitor it. And a week after that, the 14th, I'm going to do a presentation on portable radio setups, that kind of thing. I think that's all I had. K5DEY.
Very good. That's a lot. So, Roger, on the WinLink, I've been doing it, but I've been doing it old school with the TNC. So, glad you're pressing forward on the draws, and hope that you get that fully functional. There's a lot of I'm drowning in amount of material out there. That other image sounds very interesting, but I'm going to stick with the draws and fight my way through on that one. And that's good news on the FCC testing. I'm sure we'll come to some resolution on that if we have to, but I got my fingers crossed we'll get through this and be able to maybe conduct a limited amount of testing somewhere. The weather gets good, we'll sit them out behind the building and make them work. Let's see, what else did you have? The webcam sounds like a pretty good deal. I've been trying to fight through microphones on my web stuff, and next week's a business meeting, and so I think our Webex session will be in order for that. And let's see, looking forward to the 14th of May, where we talk about Go Kids. Break. Okay, very good, Mike. Thanks for joining us this evening. K5YFO. Additional check-ins, please.
Kilo Golf 5, Juliet Papa, uniform.
KG5JPU. Good evening, Anthony. Roger into the net. Additional check-ins, please.
Kilo 5, Papa, Hotel Delta.
Roger, Kilo 5, Papa, Hotel Delta. Thank you, Larry. Additional check-ins, please. K5YFO. Didn't quite key the repeater. Say again. Sorry, old man, we're getting the first syllable and then you cut out. Can I try one more time, please? Nothing heard. Okay. It's K5YFO. We'll pick up comments from the last two that have joined us. Kilo Golf 5, Julia Papa Uniform. Good evening, Anthony. What do you have for the net? Kilo Golf 5, Julia Papa Uniform. How copy? Nothing heard. We'll come back. Kilo 5 Papa Hotel Delta. Larry, good evening. Your contributions.
Well, not a whole lot tonight. Just sitting here listening. I was probably the problem last Thursday night. I came in late to the video conference, and I don't know what was going on with the system. It brought me in with a microphone full up, and it wouldn't let me turn my microphone off, and nobody could get my microphone off, so I just went ahead and shut it all down. So that problem in the middle there, Bud or whoever, that probably was caused by me. Over.
Okay, well, maybe you'll get it wrapped around the right peg or whatever you have to do before the next go-round. Good luck to you, Larry. Good to have you on the net this evening. K5YFO. KG5JPU, K5YFO. Anthony, if you're copying, no joy. We'll try again later. K5YFO. Okay, additional check-ins to the Cowtown Amateur Radio Club information soiree. Call signs, please.
Oh, fine.
Kilo Golf 5 station, say again, call sign twice, over. Kilo Golf 5 station, say again, please. Nothing heard. Try changing location or increasing power, old man. Would like to have you join us this evening. K5YFO standing by for additional check-ins, over.
November Romeo 5 Yankee.
November Romeo 5 Yankee. Roger. Out.
Well, I wasn't going to comment, but then I heard K5PhD, the troublemaker. You know, he's always a troublemaker. You're trying to give some kind of video presentation, and there that guy is. You know, he's just always causing trouble. So otherwise, I probably wouldn't even join tonight, but I wanted him to know I'm still alive over here in R5Y.
Okay, NR5Y, K5YFO, very good. Thanks for being with us this evening. Yeah, I was wondering if there's another station that was checking in just before you, and I was trying to pick him up, but we'll let Larry respond to your accusation here in a second. Thanks for being with us. K5YFO, additional check-ins.
With no more, could I comment in R5Y that when I first went to the radio meetings at Lockheed Martin, there were two guys there. They were Tommy Davis and Larry Westmoreland, and they pretty much were the tutors and ran things for many, many years, and I just have a great feeling of fondness in my heart for both of them. So
certainly picked the two oldest timers that I can know of in the club, but roger that, K5YFO. Additional check-ins, still looking for a couple with a weak signal. Try again.
K5DEY recheck.
K5DEY, go ahead.
Just like to say that I think Tommy and Larry are pretty good also.
Okay, let's don't let him get the big head, though. Okay, K5PhD, K5YFO. You want to defend yourself?
Well, the old line was, I resemble that. We've had a lot of fun. Tommy and I have had a great time, and we're going to continue to have more. But I appreciate it, you guys, and we really have enjoyed it and looked forward to moving the club from one place to another. That was a hard run. But I tell you what, we've got lots of things going now, and it's all positive, looking up, and I appreciate all the kudos. And yeah, my little attorney friend over there in Silk Stocking Row over there, he's responsible for our logo and filing a lot of legal work for us, and we appreciate him too there. And we enjoy every time he hops on the air. Over.
K5YFO, very good. Glad to hear that, Larry. Okay, does anybody else have anything for the good of the order? Nothing heard. We have any additional check-ins? Okay, not hearing anything. We can return to just a gap fest or whatever. I'll go ahead and close this officially, and we'll just turn it back to normal, whatever, or abnormal operations, whatever we want to call it. So this is Kilo 5 Yankee Foxtrot Oscar. My name is Dave. I've been net control this evening. We'll go ahead and close this session of the Cowtown Amateur Radio Net and return the frequency to normal operations. Very good evening. K5YFO, clear.
K5YFO, AF5YT.
AF5YT, K5YFO. Yeah, bud?
Well, I learned something yesterday by accident. And it was based on my trying to fix my MFJ 269C antenna analyzer. And I learned a secret that you might like to know about as far as an antenna match program. And that would be with that little AA-30 card that you've got. There's just a cat's meow. There's a couple tabs on that software that have to do with serial impedance, R plus or minus JX in serial with your load, or R plus or minus JX in parallel with your load. And you can use that information to make a quickie little antenna impedance match with a piece of coax, especially if you're looking at the parallel version. Over.
Interesting. You mean like you're making a stub, a coax stub to match, or?
Exactly what I mean. So you can use the program itself to figure out how long the stub would need to be, but based on a single given frequency, assuming that the R portion is somewhere between 25 and 100 ohms, that'll give you a 2-to-1 or better SWR. Then you take the X part and you simply cut the coax to match the conjugate of that complex number. So if you've got, for instance, 35 plus J40, then what you'll want to do is use that software to put a parallel piece, another stub that's 0 minus J40. And then that would bring you to a strictly resistive interface at the antenna of 35 ohms. Over.
Very interesting. Very interesting. You know, I guess that's one of the things about this hobby. There's always something to learn, even if you don't want to be a double E.
You know, I knew it had to be something really obvious and really simple. And it was just bugging me that I couldn't figure out what it was. But all it is it's a tool that you would use to build a sub. And by the way, that's some of the next steps I was going to be learning how to do with the Smith chart. And I'll be doing that as well. But by golly, it seems pretty straightforward to me that if you can get it to tell you at the antenna, here's what the interface complex impedance is, ought to be pretty easy then to balance that. And by the way, it wouldn't necessarily have to be a stub. If you had a box full of capacitors and you knew what frequency you were at, which obviously you're going to do, you could come up with minus J40 ohms, or minus J40 ohms with a particular capacitor, and just stick it on there and crank your antenna up in the air. Over.
Very good. Very good. I'll have to remember that. And I purposely bought an assortment of high voltage caps to do stuff like that. 3 and 5 kV, which would be perfect for probably 100 watts or so.
Well, yeah, I would think they would. Now, I will say that you're going to be resonant at this point, so yeah, you're going to need KV probably at that frequency, somewhere in that neighborhood. But yeah, a T connector and then an SO239 or PL259, whichever happens to fit into your T connector, and a soldering iron, and man, you're ready to go.
Yes, sir. Well, I've also seen some PL259 plugs that you can make a component, a resistor or a capacitor, just solder one lead in the center and the other to the shield on a 239 plug and 259 plug, and you're good to go. So yeah, those are all tricks we need to in our toolbox.
Well, and that's the reason why I saw the value in the parallel impedance, because then all you need is the T connector and a plug or socket, depending on your T connector, and you just solder to the center pin, solder to the side, screw it in, and it's in parallel. Over.
There are times when we have a breaker. Go ahead. But thank you much. Anything else?
Oh, that's enough for now. Over.
Very good. Thank you much. K5YFO monitoring.
Yep.
K5YFO.
Bill, if that's you, try again. Monitoring that. I think there was somebody else in there.
Well, Bill was in there.
Recognized his voice, but he only held in for a second. He might have something else going on. K5YFO.
Here, I'm hearing everything. I guess people are not.
You're just cutting out. I think it's your microphone again.
Bill, you're cutting out. You got to go, but it's cutting out.
We had them up and running last week, but I think you might still be having microphone problems. K5DUI.
Did you teach him not to chew the mic cable?
What's going to be on next week's lesson?
Very good. Yeah, I heard that you got him up and running, and I recognized his voice. So it's a good signal when he's in, but I'm going to drag my feet here and see if he'll try again. K5YFO. K5DUI, K5YFO. What do you have, a bad mic connection or a bad cable? Was that his problem or was it something else?
He has this headset, the one with his radio, has got a Yaesu 991, and the headset had a bad connection in it. And once he dug out his hand mic, then it worked just fine. So maybe something new along those same lines, K5DUI.
No, too bad. Like I said, signal was strong when he was in, could copy him, but then it went away. So it did sound like an intermittent connection somewhere. Well, we'll stand by and see if he has better luck finding the hand mic or another combination that works. K5YFO. AF5YT, K5YFO.
K5YFO, AF5YT.
I'll send you an email with Jim Sargent's contact info. So look for that, and you can give him a call. I think I've seen a couple of those that went through his shop. In fact, a friend of mine, a same model, you might get that to compare and see if you can. We have 3D printing capability. You can bring something old and something new together.
You know, I had completely forgotten about that. I'll check with Colross too. I would probably just need to meet him with some parts and tell him what we need. That, of course, is assuming plastic will do the trick. It's a spacer, and it may have a little pressure on it, but it's a weird operation, and I hate these record players, man. They are mechanical monstrosities. Over.
I'm remembering one that